Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I've been meaning to do some Megaminx example solves for a long time now. It's been my main event for quite some time, but I've never felt like I was good enough. But I feel like I'm now finally at the point where I'm somewhat qualified to give advice. I'm definitely not the best in the world. My solutions won't be the best, of course. You know, average anywhere between 55 and 58. I'd say it's sort of like mid 50. So I know what I'm talking about, but of course there's things that I could be doing better as well. But I think this should act as a pretty good guide as to how to be sub 1 on Megaminx. I've been through it myself. I've been at the phase where I was literally convinced I could not be sub 1. I didn't believe it. I did not believe it. I thought it was too ambitious, but here I am today, and I have I've got official 57 average, and I'm confidently sub 1. So I'm very happy with this, and I'm very excited to give some knowledge. We've got my little buddy friend in the background here. Hi, bud. He's not really happy. He's just had a bath, but it's become a bit of a running theme in my live streams that we'll get Joey out. But we're just gonna get straight into it with solve 1. These are gonna be followable example solves. So the scrambles are gonna be, I'll put them on the screen, but I'll put them in the description as well, so you don't have to pause. Scramble 1 is here, and I have made sure that I follow it right, just to give you a frame of reference as well. So I use the GAM Megaminx. The only difference is I've got the black top, everything else is the same, so no funny color scheme business. So let's get straight into solve 1. The first thing that it's really good to know for cross is just know the color order. And the way that I memorize it is just remembering like a specific order starting from blue. So blue, red, green, purple, yellow, so B, R, G, P, Y. And what that allows you to do is build the cross without the center pieces, which is really important. So for example, I've got blue here, so I now need red, green, purple, yellow, and that will be quite easy to build my cross. So I know that from where the piece is right now, it would be red, green going here, and then it would be purple, yellow. So what I could do to start here is I could do, so white front, because it's okay to not do cross and bottom for Megaminx, F prime. And I could move out this block out of the way and insert. Actually, before I insert purple, I could put in red like that, insert purple, and then connect this block. I could also now, if I was going to plan this, I would also plan to find this edge. So we're going to insert this edge into here, turn it into like an X star, and then what I would do is I would just memorize where green is, and I would do green last. So yeah, so as I'm explaining what I'm doing, I'm going to be giving advice as to why I'm doing the things. So I'm not just going to tell you I would do the pair like this. I'm going to explain why in terms of ergonomics and how Megaminx works as a puzzle. But generally, you want to be going for efficient solutions, which is hard if you don't know much about Megaminx. So yeah, efficient solutions. Also, another rule of thumb is you kind of want to be doing F to L, so this part of the solve, with your slots on the right of the puzzle. So we've got slot here on the right. You don't really want to be doing lefty moves as much because it does hinder your progress on Megaminx quite a bit. Looking around, I've got these two pieces. So what I could do here is so this is a kind of funny angle, move the corner over like this and move the edge here, so that when these move down, it becomes a pair. And to insert, so rather than doing F moves or L moves, I can come this way and insert the pair like that. So you'll notice that I keep the pairs either here or there, and also pairing up pieces before moving them to the layer is very important. So this case, I would just sort of do it at the back so I can see more. And also I've got this piece, so what I would do is I'd bring it along as I search for the piece, which happens to be here. I've missed that. So what would be good is, one thing you have to get out of the habit for Megaminx is, rather than like bringing this edge awkwardly into the top layer and just doing a 3x3 case, is learn how to pair things up in a way that benefits you, beforehand. So in this case, again, obviously I'm not the best solver in the world, but what I would do, and I think works fine in this case, is to make the pair here and rotate up like this and insert into here, tracking this last pair here. So this is a joined pair. So we can do another thing similar to what we've just done here. So rather than bringing it to the layer and doing something like this, which could work, because of where we're situated, we can do something like this. So we're going to move this corner down and edge to the top, so we can create the pair and then insert from here by just offsetting this layer. That'll be the F12 for first solve. So now moving on to S12. This is where things become quite important, and there's a couple of rules that you want to be following. So first of all, you want to have a set order for S12 if you don't already. People generally tend to pick yellow because it's just easy to find. And then whether or not you rotate, Y prime or Y afterwards is up to you. I personally go this way, which is Westland, or if you go this way, it's called Eastland, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's going to be hard to follow if most people do Eastland, which they do, but the reason I'd recommend switching to this method, I mean, you should hopefully see as I go on. So because I'm going to start here and go this way, ideally I'll kind of want to try and get this yellow and blue block solved first. So I'm going to get my edge up here and just find where my pieces are. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to put the edge here, so I'm not going to quite solve it. So again, rather than just putting the pieces on this top layer mindlessly and putting the pair in, you're going to want to try and recognize how to pair things up. So from here I can see that I can do an F, or a U should I say, and then now if I would want to pair, I'd either want the edge to be here or here, you know, for joint pair or split pair. So with the edge being on this face, I know that if I do this sort of BR2 move, it's going to become this split pair. It can go straight in. So it's kind of hard to get the eye for this, but you will get there eventually. I'm now also seeing this, so I'm going to fix this block, and I'm going to insert this yellow edge. Now I'm going to bring this pair up and just do this pair like I would on 3x3. Here's now a good time to talk about turning as well. So for turning on Megaminx, I have probably some of the smallest hands for an adult. I can't hold the Megaminx in the proper grip with pinky on the bottom, ring finger on the back, so you two, I'll always end up catching this layer. My hands are not big enough. It's not a skill issue, I promise. Yeah, so this is for comparison. Yeah, not big hands. So what you I mean, this might not be a problem for you, but what you can do is you can do ADOs. So basically it's just doing U2 prime with one finger, and it works absolutely fine. So for this case, I can just go like this, solve it. And then, so now you're going to kind of see another rule that's going to come into play with Megaminx, which is keep your last layer color on the top pretty much always if you can. So as I'm going around, you don't want to be coming to this face and then to this face to do pairs. Like for this pair, you might want to get both pieces to this layer and do it on the right, which works, but you just don't have to. So I'll show how and why again, why I recommend sort of go in this order. So we need to solve this pair, which is yellow, orange, purple. So we've got the edge corner here, edge here. So in this case, so there what we can do is we can bring the edge up to this face, and we can do like sort of a readjust the hand to back move this corner up at the top. And now what we can do is we can do an R move to set this up into a 3 mover. And then now that the layer's already offset, we can just insert the 3 mover and keep going to finish off the block. So I'll just show an example while I'm here. So again, if you have a pair here, don't come this way and insert it on the left. You can just bring the layer all the way up and do that. And this is the position we're at. So now I'm looking for this piece and this slot, or just generally these pieces, which I've got here. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to insert the edge. And as I insert the edge, I'm just going to try and split the pair up, because it's going to just give me a better case. So, and also another thing is when you're doing this rotation, so Westland, you can do slots from this orientation that I'm holding now, but it kind of makes it hard to see pieces. Generally, it's better if you can have the edge solved be on this face, because now you can do mostly righty moves and a lot of back inserts. So what I was going to do was this. So now I've got this split case, which I can solve just in the back like this. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to try and find this piece and its corresponding, which I can see is here. So let's go into doing that. What we can do in this case, it's kind of hard to visualize, but we're going to set it up into a long 3 mover, what I like to call a long 3 mover. So I'm going to move this edge up. So you can also do these like funny L moves. You can do L2 and L with this finger like this. Again, I kind of struggle because of the hand size, but I'm going to bring this edge up here. I'm going to do an F move to put this corner here. Now, instead of rotating down here and sort of pairing it up like this and doing sledge, we can actually just move this edge all the way to this spot, which allows us to do a really long 3 mover case like this, which is really helpful for Megaminx, because that reduces the move count hugely, you know, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, to just 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it's something pretty helpful. What I would probably do in a solve immediately if I saw this is I would just move the corner back here and do an RUR prime to set up the pair. Sometimes it's absolutely fine to just create the pair before the edge, as long as the edge isn't in a terrible spot, which in this case it is. But what I would do to get this edge out is just do that, which is not the best thing to do, but it does work in a solve if you're struggling for look ahead, because that's also really important for Megaminx. Next pair we've got is this pair. So there's a couple of things you can do for this pair, and I'm going to give you like a couple options just to kind of give you an idea of how you can solve pairs of Megaminx, you know, with this kind of style of solving. So one thing we could do is do it like 3x3 case. So like if you get this case on 3x3, what you can do is you can insert the edge into this slot, just turn it into this case, so it flows really quickly. So you could do the same thing on Megaminx here, move it to this slot, pair it up, and then just insert all the way down here. But what you can also do in this case is, again, it's hard to visualize, but we can do a sledgehammer right here, and then we're going to get a 3 move out of this direction. So rather than rotating to the bottom, you can just do it with like a pinch F move. So it's pretty good. So now last face. Last face is quite important. It's quite restrictive as well. It's the most restrictive part of Megaminx solving. So it's kind of tricky, but what most people will do is they'll find this edge, whatever color it is for you, put it here and solve this pair to get the block. But there has been a lot of, you know, discussion along people debating whether or not it's better to do this edge first. And I'm going to show you why that might be beneficial, and I'm just going to do the example. So I'm going to insert this. When I say insert the edge, by the way, I mean as the cross edge. So I know it looks a bit funny, but we're just kind of doing like an offset pair. So if you can imagine this pair just going here. So we'd need the corresponding pieces, which are here. So green is the cross color. So let's set these up and insert. And now what we can do is put a pair here. So one, we can save this pair, move it away and do an F move, and next we do the next pair. So it's not worked out exactly in a favor because the pieces are over here. Yeah, this isn't the best of cases, but here what we could do is possibly come this rotation and do a sledge, insert into the back, and then before we finish we can just do U2 to join this pair. So this might be really weird to grasp, especially if you... Sorry, I've literally just karate chopped the camera. This might be really weird to grasp if you're not used to solving Megaminx like this, but this is how most people do it. You know, you have to have efficient solutions. You have to really think about it. And especially if you're used to solving Megaminx a certain way, you're going to have to try and rewire your brain a little bit as to how you approach the puzzle. Going forward, I won't be so in-depth for the rest of the solve because I've kind of given you a few of the baselines of how you know, speed solving Megaminx goes from here, but I will give some pointers on last layer while I'm here, because again, this is example solves plus how to be sub 1. So tell you what, I'm just going to show you how I would do this last layer, then I'm going to give you a last layer, you know, a last layer advice. So this OLL case, I got lucky enough to skip edge orientation, but this OLL case is just like a back anti-soon or something. It goes like this. Really nice algorithm. Super fast, you know, if you use the right finger tricks. Now we're gonna do PLL. So this is actually one of the easiest PLL cases. You've got a block here, and we've got these two colors the same, so we can do this. But I'm not expecting you to know Megaminx PLL because it's a large arc set. But if we were going to continue from here, what I would probably look at is we've got these stickers. We've got these edges which are orientated across from each other. So what you do is you just look at which piece this edge needs to go to. So if it needs to go to here, you can do this like a long soon algorithm with U primes or U's depending on which way it needs to go. So this edge needs to go here, so I can do this. That'll solve the edges. Alternatively, if you get the opposite case, so this edge going here, you can do it backwards. So you can do R2 prime U2 like this. That'll solve your edges. And then from here, we've just got a 5-corner cycle. I want to briefly mention how I recognize 5-corner cycle cases as well. So I use like a really weird combination of like stickers to figure it out. So the way that I know this K-perm or this 5-corner CP starts like this is because I basically track which way the pieces go. So I know that this piece goes to here, this one goes to here. And if that's the case, then I've got this one. But yeah, so that was the first solve. A bit talky, a bit long, but I think it's better to be in depth about these things. Okay, so now that the ramble solve is over, we're just going to do purely example solves, and you can just try and copy or learn from what I would do. So let's have a look at the cross here. So the first thing I'm kind of thinking about is these 3 pieces. So using that cross tip before of the, you remember in the color order, I know that it's red, green, purple. So what I'm seeing here is I can move green up to here, insert purple, and I know red's over here. It's kind of where I'd start forming my ideas around. And then I'd probably just keep track on these two. They're very close, which is good. So I'm probably gonna start the cross like this. So I'm gonna do green, purple, red. And then what we're gonna do from here is we're just gonna, yeah, okay, we're gonna do this somewhat smart, I think. So we can do yellow. That's not smart. I'm gonna do yellow and blue like this. And F12. So again, F12 is kind of hard to teach. It really is an acquired skill. Also, look ahead is really hard at this stage. But yeah, so we're gonna start with these two pieces. We're just gonna pair them up at the top, and we can slot them in like this. And notice we've got these two pieces over here. So I'm gonna take them out, join the pair, and insert over here. It's also a good idea to kind of rotate around F12 if you can. You know, you don't really want to be doing this pair and then this pair. It's not always going to work that way, but if you can just sort of generally solve pairs that are close together, it's usually a good idea too. In this case, it's a bit difficult because the red and blue pieces are here, but I'm going to start by pairing them up. I'm going to bring them to this spot so I can now show you about back inserts. So here I can get this piece all the way into the back by sort of slingshotting it all the way into the back like that. You really want to learn your back inserts, which is really helpful. Next, I'm going to do yellow purple here. So I'm just going to bring the edge to here and just do a sledge, which will set up the pair. And I'm going to come this way and insert the pair like this. Lastly, we've got this piece and it's a corner over here. So what we can do is, just in this case, we'll probably just do U prime L2, which will set up the pair and just put it straight in. So going on from here, I want these two, and I want these three pieces. So let's, what can we do? I could start by maybe forming this pair and then putting the edge in afterwards. See these two? Yeah, I could probably also do something similar here by putting that pair in and then going for the edge. I also caught that this corner I need is over here. It's never going to be useful over here, so I would just kind of bring it up with like a back move, but while I come over here to look for the piece. And let's see, it's down here. Yeah, let's have a think. My brain is telling us to set it up to a 3-mover like this. This might not be the best solution, but from here we can set it up into the full pair and bring it down. Joey's making some noise. From here, we've got a built pair already, so we're going to block build this in. So I'm going to come this way, put the pair there. Now this is the corresponding edge I need to finish the block, so I'm going to move the pair in, not the pair, sorry, the edge in over here, fill that empty gap, reconnect this, and finish. I've then got these pieces. So a few ways I could do this. Best way for this pair down here is I could probably just split the pair up like this, set up into that bottom 3-mover. I've also got this edge already solved, which is lovely with these two pieces. Here, I'm just going to do, I'm going to rotate this way, and I'm going to put this corner at the back, do an F prime to do a 3-mover in at the back, and I'm looking for this pair at the bottom. I can then do these two, so normal 3x3 case, pair it up, put it over here at the bottom. And in this case, I'm just going to do the blue, red, and green block because this pair is already connected. I can connect the edge in like this. So now I've kind of got 2 pairs left like you would on 3x3, maybe. What I would do in this case is I'd put this edge over here and set it up into a 3-mover, then rotate, put it in like that. Just come back and do this last pair. So no edges orientated, which is kind of not fun. I'm going to give you 2 ways of dealing with this. So there's an algorithm, and then there's just like F sexy. So if you just get one edge, put it on the left here, do F sexy, F prime, U2, and then F inverse sexy. Or if you want an algorithm to do it, you can put the edge up at the top here and just do this algorithm. Do with that what you will. I learned it a while ago, and sometimes I will just use it, sometimes I won't. It really doesn't mean too much. Yeah, again, it's just a case of use it if you want. This is a left soon, so this corner pattern matches soon exactly. Just do it on the left. So this case is just left soon. But because we're doing Megaminx, we're actually going to do it from the back so we can do our new moves and make it much nicer. And we're finished with this very nice Z-perm. This is what Z-perms look like on Megaminx. And no, they don't have moves. So this case goes like... That's the PLL. And I'm going to stick with the PLL. I've already taught you how to do last layer. Okay, this is a beautiful scramble. If you ever see, like, even one solved piece is good on Mega, because there's just so many possibilities. Oh my god! What is this scramble? Oh, what the hell? This is the actual scramble, I promise. It's in the description. I've just generated it now. Look, there it is. Wow. Okay. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 move cross, which is ridiculous. Let's look ahead to first pair. Given that we've got this, it's probably just going to be these two, because these are just going to move here and that's it. But you can definitely inspect more from here. You'd probably want to keep an eye on maybe something else. Seeing these two pieces are going to stay close. So I probably don't need to do much explaining here. Move in blue, move in red. Green's over here. You can do that and F2 it in. We might actually do red and green first. So I've noticed, and put this edge over here and do that long 3 mover I talked about before. I can now keep going with so many options. So I've got a 3 mover here, not at the right spot. I've also got this one. Could be beneficial to sort this pair out first, because then it solves this one in the back. So I think I'm going to do that the way I did that there. Sorry, is so we've got it like in this kind of pattern here. You can put it here and do IUR prime. It sets up into a pair. Then we're going to do a U, come this way and sort of slingshot that into the back. While we're doing so, you can take a peek. We'll keep an eye on this, because I was going to come back and do this pair. So here what I'm going to do, it's a 3 mover like this, but we can also again do a back insert by bringing it here, put it into the back. So now we've got red and blue and red and yellow left. So red and blue, we're going to connect the pair like this and insert. And then remember, this piece has stayed on here this whole time, so probably just bring that up to a better location and figure out how to do the pair from here. I think an L2 F prime insert might work here. There we go. So now moving on to the next pair. Because this is so close, I'm probably just going to insert this cross edge in anyways. And I'll also do this one. I will now look for this one's corresponding piece, which is here. I'm thinking about doing, so we're going to do U prime and then flick this layer up to set it up into a 3 mover. And the way you do a 3 mover into this slot is you make the pair, do an F prime, and it offsets the layer. So you can join it up like that. Got these pieces, but it would be nice to have this piece solved first. Not the end of the world though, really, is it? What can we do here? We can do a U2 and an F. These can then connect up here, go into the back. I'm also seeing some crazy stuff form with this face, so we're definitely going to want to preserve this. I can probably preserve the whole thing, which is kind of insane. Let's be smart, actually. Put this block here, move the pair out of the way, put in this edge, come here, put in this pair, do an F prime so we can now finish off this U2 like that. Oh my god, it's all coming together. Yeah, so what I'm going to do here is, that was a lot. I'm sorry if that was a bit fast. You want to save stuff like this. That was a free phase, basically. To put this in, I'm going to, like, put the layer here. I'm going to put the pair here, and I'm going to do, like, F, R. And then, obviously, normally it would be F prime, but this is offset by an F2 now. So I'm going to come this way and just move this down. That was a lot. That was pretty insane. But, like, that's kind of stuff you get with Megaminx, you know, so it's pretty sick. Let's figure out what we can do with this little cluster of joy. What's my brain telling us to do? Part of us really wants to do this, but I just know it's not good. So this probably isn't maybe the best idea, but the only thing I'm kind of seeing in my head is connecting this pair like this. And then I'm going to put the pair there, F2, and I'm going to move the pair out of the way so I can finish the block here. I don't think that's too bad. Here, I am thinking long and hard. I think I'm just going to do U. So again, we're looking at these pieces. I'm going to do U, F2. And I think I'm just going to then offset this layer in 3. Move this in. And from here, so that I'm going to solve the red, green, and pink block again. So I'm going to just do this pair, pretend the edge was here. So I'm going to like double sexy, then insert the edge. This is kind of a habit I've got. It might not be the best thing, but it does work for me. I'll then do this pair like normal. I'm going to sledge it in to get some of these edges orientated, because that's always a bonus. And then I'm going to finish off by coming here and do this pair last. This is probably a really easy OLL, but I don't know it, so let's F sexy F prime. This case you're going to want to do with F anti-soon, F prime. And then, so we've got an end perm here, but I don't know my end perms, so this is just going to be this disconnected edges case. It's going here, so we're going to do it like this. And this 3-corner alg, so you can do it with comms, or you can do this algorithm. So there you go. Yeah, so that is Megaminx. Oh my goodness. Joey loves Megaminx. He usually will sit and talk to this thing, but you're not in a good mood, are you, buddy? Come here. Yeah. Oh, he's a happy bunny. Are you a happy bunny? Say hi to the Megaminx. I think he's a bit cold. Bless him. But yeah, so that is everything for the Megaminx example solves. I hope this was helpful. You know, like, again, I might not be the most amazing Megaminx solver in the world, but I am sub 1, and that's quite a big barrier for some people, especially myself. It was a very big goal of mine, so I'm very happy to be past it and at the point where I feel like I'm somewhat decent at this event. I've obviously still got a long way to go. One of my biggest issues is look ahead. I think I could still do everything the way I do and probably get down to like well into sub 50, but I'm just a bit slow in the brain. But yeah, I hope this was helpful and that you've learned some stuff. It's mainly just about, if you're just like trying to get used to Megaminx from solving events like 3x3 and stuff, it's more of a it's more of a mindset shift than anything. You need to just adjust the way you do a couple things. Like, you need to hold the puzzle a certain way, do pairs in a certain order, you know, hold it in a specific way, and you will get used to it, because people tend to do some weird stuff in Megaminx if they don't know what they're doing, so it can be quite fun. Yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you want some more stuff, let me know, and thank you for watching.